this is Rick Prokop, and we're going to continue on with the Chopin Waltz in C sharp minor. These 8 bars that we discussed, all of the interesting chord changes in the preceding lesson, we're now going to work on playing. And these next 4 bars will be illustrative of the technique of dropping your wrist, which is very helpful in the middle of the piece where you can just take your hands and drop them. It's very comfortable, and it's a way of, if there's any tension building anywhere, you just pick your wrists up and drop them. So we'll go over that in these first 3 bars here. And the first place you can drop is right here on this G sharp 7th chord after you've come off this part over here. So you're finishing, you're doing a down up here, and then you just pick up and drop. You just drop your wrist and then raise your wrist and then drop your wrist. And then we have 2-note groups here. So we have this by itself, and then we have a down, up, and then another drop, and then an up, and then a drop, down, up, and then a drop again, and then a drop here. And then it's all chromatic motion until you get here where this is a whole step. That's the only whole step in that whole passage coming down from here. So if I were to notate these physical groups, I would do it like this. So this means this is a drop point. I've made this little slur mark. This is the drop point, and this is the high point. And then what we're going to do is drop here, and as we're going through all of these little 2-note slurs, our wrist is going to get higher and higher. Hold on a sec. And this will be the highest point right here. And then what we're going to do is drop again on this B9th. And then go up to this B, and then we're going to drop again here. And then our next drop point will be right here. So we'll draw a physical group from here to this 4th note, and then a drop here, and then a drop here on the downbeat. So a little physical group there. And let me just see this. So here's a drop, and here's a drop. And then there. So a drop here, a drop here. You're going to be playing your thumb. And then this is a downbeat, so that gives us a chance to just land there. And then this is all little 2-note slurs going down from this point on, this point where it goes like this. And you'll be using your 3rd and 2nd finger each time with that. Now within this 1 measure physical group, I'll put in some fingerings just so you can see what's going on. So I'll put them under the note. I usually put them above, but it would be helpful right now to put them under. So I'll put a 3 here. That's going to be a 3. This is going to be a 2-3. A little 2-note group, and then another little 2-note group of 2-3 before you land here. So within this physical group where you're going from a low wrist to your highest point of your wrist, there are also these little down ups here and a down up here. Okay? So you should write in these fingerings. We're going to land with 1 here, 3, and 5 on that chord. Just dropping there and then going up to our 4th finger. So put a 4 here. So, and then as we're holding this 4th finger and our wrist is high, then we just drop on this E with our thumb. So we'll put a 1 there underneath this E. And from there, you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, and then a drop. Let's see what fingering I use. Yeah, I use 1, 2, 5 there. Or 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 5 is what I use on this B ninth. 1, 2, 5. And as I said before, as you're doing these little down ups, down up here in the midst of this larger physical group, as you're doing these little down ups, your wrist is progressively getting higher. So by the time you're done with this whole thing, it's at its highest point, and then you just drop here, and then you go up. So this is a full drop, and then go to your 3rd finger here. You go up to that, and then we drop again on the thumb on this G sharp. So let me write in those fingerings. So we're going to go to a 3 here. And then we have our thumb. That's a drop right there. And then we have 3rd finger on this B. And that's a little down up there. Just as over here, this is a little down up, the 1 to the 3 here. I forgot to mention that. So this 1 to 3 is a little down up within this larger physical group. So that's a little 1. And then you have 3 on the B here, and then you do another little group right here with 2, 3. Before dropping here on 1 and 2. So here we have drop, 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 and then we're clear. And these 2 little 2-note groups, physical groups, are within this bigger physical group. So you're from here, you're progressively getting higher, even though you're doing these little down, up, down, up. The wrist is getting progressively higher, and then drops again, and then drops again, and then we put our thumb here. Okay, so we'll go over those fingerings. All right, here you're going to drop. You see, you're doing here, you're going 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and you're going to continue with the 2-note little phrases. So this will be a 2, 3, and there's a nice drop there on this C double sharp. And then a nice drop here on your thumb. So here we're going to do thumb on this G sharp 4th finger. And that's a little That's a little two-note group. I don't have room to indicate that here. But then on this same G sharp, you're going to replace the fourth finger. You're going to come off and then replace it with 3. Go down a half step. And that's a little physical group there within all of this. And then you're going to continue on. A nice big drop here on this F double sharp, which is really a G. And this is all going to be now 3 2s. 3 2, 3 2, going down chromatically. All the way down. You just keep going. It's very easy because it's the same fingers all the time, and it's just half steps all the time. And then you finally get to this last B with your third finger. And on this A, that's a whole step, you put a thumb there. Okay? And then that gets you to 2 and 5 on the G sharp E. And here, well, let's go from here. And this is a physical group, down, up, up. Remember, we started with an up. So we're starting again with an up motion here. And the physical group would be these 3 notes. Okay, from the B, A, and then the 6th here, G sharp to E. So let's look down at the piano and see how this plays out on the keyboard. Okay, so we're coming off of this, right? So I'd like you to do that, and then just make a separation, and just drop. Practice that a bunch of times. Don't worry about crude sound or anything right now. You just want to feel yourself dropping there. And then after you drop on this G sharp 7th with a flat 9, raise your wrist, okay, to your 4th finger on the G sharp, and then drop on this E. Now, as soon as you drop on this E, let go of the G sharp, because you're going to replace that G sharp with the 4th finger with the 3rd finger. In other words, drop, up, drop, and then we replace the 4th with the 3rd, and then 2, 3, 2, 3, and another drop on 1, 2, 5. Now, I had mentioned that these little drops occur within a larger group. So we have this. See, look. Even though I'm doing these little down, up, down, up, down, up, my wrist overall is going up throughout that whole procedure. So we have, see, this is the highest point now. So that all of this was a physical group with these little ones in the midst of that. And then we reach a high point and then drop. Okay? And then we want to resolve to the 3rd finger on the B and then drop here. So that's the next thing to practice. All right, and then after dropping on this G sharp, let go of this B. So we have the B 9th chord, 1, 2, 3, drop, and let go of that B. And then you're going to hit the B again with your 3rd finger. So we're going to do, watch, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Then 2, 3, and then another drop here, 2, 3, right? And then another drop here, and another drop here. And from there we have 1, 4, 3, 2, and a big drop here. And then you're home free. And watch this group. This is down, up, up. All right? So watch the whole thing now. 1, 2, 3. And remember, we began the piece with a down, up. So when we get to the end of this chromatic passage, we're just mimicking that. Instead of this, we have this. Because we want a soft landing here. Okay? All right, let's look at the left hand and see what we're going to do physically with that. And what we want to do to be comfortable at all times, we want the wrists to be doing exactly the same thing. So if the right hand wrist is coming down, it would be best to have the left wrist coming down, because then you can just take your hands and just drop them. You can just drop them, and it's the greatest thing in the middle of the piece just to be able to do that. So down here, this is going to be a drop on the G, and you have a little physical group. Your wrist is going to be going down, up, up. Same thing all the way through these 3 quarter notes. It's all going to be going down, up, up. Down, up, up. And through this next measure, since this is a physical group up here, this will also be mimicking that. And then this measure here is different from this measure, because up here we have on the first 2 beats a physical group followed by a physical group on the 3rd beat. So we're going to mimic that in the left hand. So we're going to go down, up, and then a down on this A sharp E while we're holding this E. So we're going to go down, up, down, down, up, down. And then a drop here, drop, and a drop here. It's great doing this. You just take both your wrists and drop, drop, and then same here, you could do it with this, drop, drop if you want, you know, and all the way through, because you're going to be playing these little 2-note groups, the 3-2, 3-2s, and you're going to be slightly dropping on the 3rd finger each time. So here we just have this, that's a drop, this is a drop. Okay. And as this right hand is doing this physical group, even though you're coming off the piano with your left hand here, you can just go along with your left hand and the left wrist and mimic whatever the right wrist is doing. And then over here, same thing. You can do a drop and then a drop. Same thing down here, drop and a drop. And that's pretty much it then. And when you get down to here, you know, you want to, this is, this is an up motion here. You're going to go up on the C sharp. Hard, I don't know. I guess I'll do it like that to correspond with this physical group, okay? All right, let's look down at the piano and we'll go over the left hand and then put them together. All right, the first 2 bars, you have G sharp, so you have a down, up, up, and then you have G sharp, D sharp here. And so you use pinky, 2 and 1. So down, up, up, down, up, up. Next bar, you have a drop on C sharp, then go up to G sharp, C sharp, and then up to F sharp. So that's a physical group. Down, up, up. And both measures, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, next two bars, we have B, and then B and F sharp. And that's a physical group. It's a down, up, up. Next measure, we have E, B, E. That's a physical group, down, up, but then we're going to come down on the A sharp and the E. So the whole thing looks like this: down, up, up, down, up, down. Now when you hit this final A sharp E, you're going to do it down, up, because that's what's going on in the right hand. Down, up, down, up. And now you just drop here on the D sharp. And this is a drop and a drop. Drop, drop. So those two bars look like this now. 1, 2, 3. See? Down, up, down, up, down, down. Or down, up, down, up. And then you have your D sharp 7th chord, same thing, down, up, down, up. So this is a D sharp, a C sharp, and an F double sharp. Okay, it's really easier to look at it as an E flat 7th, right, with a D flat and a G. Okay. And then finally you have the G sharp 7th, so that's a down, up, and this tritone of B sharp, F sharp. All right, let's take a look at the whole thing. I'm going to play the whole thing without pedal first. So we have down, up, down. Now this is down, up, right? Now both wrists drop again, and what you don't try to connect to any of these drops. That's the great thing about a drop, is you don't connect to them. Okay, there's that, and then another drop. Drop here, drop, 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 and up. Okay, and with pedal. That should do it for today. The next lesson will deal with the 8 bars that begin down here and that bring us to the more exciting part of the waltz. So thanks for joining me again at Piano Power Lessons, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.